So this is training for a pre-leasing inspection. The first thing I'm going to do is pull up my property on that folio, and I'm going to do the task of a new inspection. And I will name it, and then I will choose one of the pre-existing templates that we have in the system for the pre-leasing inspection. Then when I get to the property, what I'm going to do first is I'll just walk through and start turning the lights on. And then I will go to the kitchen, and I will first go to the dishwasher. I'll take a look at it very quickly just to make sure that there's no problems. Just to make sure nothing's broken. And then I will just start a normal cycle and start it. And then I let that run while I'm here. We're going to head upstairs because that's where the washer dryer is. And I'm going to look at those next. And I'll start the washer and dryer and head back down to the kitchen. Here's the utility room. Stackable washer and dryer. I'll just look at them, make sure the filter's here. Looks like it needs to be cleaned. Washer's good, so we'll just start both of these. I'll just do like an hour timed, and then on the washer I'll just do a light load, and I'll start that. And I hear the water start, so we'll just let those run and then come back and check on those. So now we're going to head back downstairs, and we'll start on the kitchen. Basically what I'm going to be just looking for is I'm going to briefly look at everything and make sure that there's no issues. If there is, I might take a picture of it. If something doesn't work, then I'll mark it and I will flag it for a work order. So I will go through to each item, go to the sink, turn it on, make sure it works, disposal. Good there. And I'll come to the stove, start that, turn on those, and you can kind of go through and do multiple things at once. Let that run. I'm also, you can see, all the burners are working. Let that go. And then we're also going to check the fan and the surface light. So you can see the surface light's out, so I will mark that and take a picture and flag that. I'll just come back and make sure that that stove is working. So I kind of just briefly just open and close them like that. And I'm not going to do all of them while you're taping. Let's just kind of go through and then I'll come back. So basically I just go through all the cabinets, open them up, make sure there's no major damage or anything like that. Okay? Come to the refrigerator, look inside, make sure there's ice. Ice maker's working. Everything looks good. Check the water's working. And then if it has a filter, if it's lit up, but it is not, so it looks like this filter's good. So we're going to come now. Of course, if I wasn't videoing, then I would open all the drawers. But just to kind of get through it and show you what I do, I'll open them all and make sure there's no problems. Okay? So we'll come over to the front, the foyer, and just kind of look around, see if there's any things. You can see there's marks here. So I'm probably then gonna mark, just notate that there's marks on the walls. And I'll take a picture of it. So while we're here, we'll also open all the closets. Make sure that there's nothing broken, damaged. If there's lights, turn them on, and then we're gonna go head into the bedroom. Come into the bedroom, turn everything on, look at the blinds, make sure there's no issues. This one's dirty, so I'll probably mark that, and that way so they can come in and either replace them or clean them. As well as the damage on the walls, I'll notate and take pictures of all that, and then I will check the closet and make sure what issues are in there, and look at the carpet and make sure if there's any damage or stains or anything like that. I'm gonna come back into it. I'm not gonna make video. So now we're gonna go into the first bathroom. Same thing, we'll turn on all the lights, the exhaust, make sure that that works. I usually turn the water on first to kind of let it get hot. As I go around, I'll flush the toilet, make sure it's flushed, and then go to the shower, make sure it turns on, make sure that there's no damage to this, any walls.
Did you check for hot water?
That's why I turn it on
Right,
first.
okay, this one.
So I let that run so it'll get hot while I check everything out. So I see everything looks good there, and then by the time I get to that, I can see the water's getting hot. So we're good there. So this one worked out good.
Go.
I usually will add the entry to the living area section, just so I don't have so many sections. So then I will come in here and very simply just walk through, make sure the screens are there, make sure if they're damaged, look at the walls. Over here, same thing, turn on any lights, what's going on, and make sure they all work. Come back here, I see the stove's good, it's working fine. So I'll turn that off, and I also check the oven light. I see here the oven light's out. So I'll make a notation of that. And just make sure I turned it off. So back over here, again, look at the floor, look at the windows, the blinds, the walls. Also, as I'm walking through, if I see a smoke detector, then I'll look at it and make sure it has a green light, make sure it's working. So now we'll head upstairs. So as I'm going up the stairs, so I'll do an area that's just hallway and stairs as its own room. I look at the walls and see if there's anything I need to notate. Then when I get up to the hallway, the same thing. The smoke detector. I'll check that, looks like there's a green light there, and then just do a walk through the whole hallway and see that everything's working, lights are working, see what's damaged up on the wall, and then head this way and start doing the bedrooms. Also, what I like to do is I will turn the AC down. Make sure it turns on and cools. And in case if it's not cooling, then I can let the owner know. So we'll go into this bedroom first. Do the same thing. Turn everything on. Look at the walls. Look at the floor. Screens. And then while we're in here, we can do this bathroom. I turn the water on. Another good reason to turn the water on while you're walking around, because then you can make sure that there's no leaks. So if the water is running for a few minutes, then you can make sure when you go back that there's no leaks in there. shelves back here, so I'm gonna look at them, make sure that they're okay. And then we'll look at the closet. Look at all the shelves, make sure that none of the things are loose. You don't want anything to fall. And then we can come back here and take a look underneath. And see, you can see nothing's dripping. Water's hot. Nothing's good. Nothing here. No water's dripping. Water's hot. We're all good there. Alright. Also, any closets, just look in as you're going by. Check the doors, make sure they're closed. That's good. Right here. And on. Fan. Make sure the fan's working. Again, screens, blinds. If you want to lower them, just to make sure they work. Good idea. And then look in the closet, make sure there's no issues. And then last, look at the smoke detector, looks good. And then I like to check the doors too, just to make sure they lock. And then we'll go to the last bedroom here. Same thing. Screens, blinds, floors, walls, and closet. Everything looks good there. Okay. And we'll come to this bathroom. Big. Good. Also check the tub, make sure there's no chips or cracks or anything like that. And then we'll look inside, make sure there's no problems. Nothing's leaking. Water's hot. So that's good. Now I'll go back to the laundry room. See that the washer's working good. Open the dryer. Make sure it got hot. It did. So we're good there. And then whatever else you need to look at. Walls, shelves, lights, and door. Make sure it works. And that's good. So I think we checked this already. So we're all good up here. Head down. Head in the back side. Check out here.
Oh, they have a garage?
Yeah. While we're out here, then we'll just look around at the grass, the fences.
Oh.
Come over here.
Oh.
Just make sure there's no broken fences or anything that we might need to let them know.
Manure.
Oh, okay, they put that. Garage. Turn on any lights, see if they work, look around, and I have 2 remotes. Alright, we'll come this way. This is the driveway, we'll just look over here. Make sure there's nothing that we need to look at. There's a gate here, so we might want to test that out. Lights are on. Make sure everything works. And then, we should document. Also, I like to check this as well. So I'll just check that. Make sure it works. And then make sure to check the opener, make sure the light is working so that someone doesn't have to come in the dark. Now we're going to head out front to check out the entry. So we'll come out here. While we're here, we make sure we turn the light on. We'll check the doorbell, make sure it works. We've already checked the lock when we came in. We'll just, again, look at the floor, ceiling, look around. We can look around at the grass, make sure everything's good there. And make sure the mailbox is there. We'll just go and make sure it's not solid down. Good. There's lots of mail in here. So take that out. And just take a look at the fence and make sure that there's no damage there. So now, make sure if the landscaping needs, if it's overgrown, like this one over here, but that's not ours, then we would let them know to clean it up, to make it look better. But they take care of it, so everything looks good. Go head back inside, and then I'll show you more what it looks like on the front. So for this video's purposes, it was easier just to kind of walk around and show you what I look at and look for while I'm doing the inspection. Normally when you're doing it, you would take all your notes and your photos in each room while you're there. So just to kind of show you, this was the living room. I wrote that there was marks on the walls, and I uploaded a photo. The way you would upload the photo is you'd hit the camera. If you have it on your phone, then you hit here, and you can navigate and find the photo. Okay? If not, then you would take the photo, and it appears down here. And then once you hit the check mark, it asks if you want to save it, and then you would save it to the appropriate area. And it sits there, and then it will upload, and then it will add it into the area. Here, you see it just added. So if you needed to change the name, like I tell you, I incorporate the entry into the living room. You just click on the name, and then you can edit this any way you need to. So I'll say living and entry, and then when you see it saves it. And so as you go through here, you can utilize these areas to your advantage. Change the names if you need to. If you need to get rid of an area, you just click on the 3 dots and you hit delete. It asks you okay, and then the area will be gone. So typically you can do that either while you're doing the inspection or after you're doing the inspection. But as you go through, you just don't delete anything until you're done, but you can rename everything to customize it for each specific property of what you need. Because if you don't need 5 bedrooms, then I can use one of these as the hallway stairway. So I would go in, change the name, and use each area accordingly. So same thing with the bathrooms. I don't need 4 bathrooms, so when I'm done with the inspection, I'll go through and I'll delete the areas I don't need. And then at the bottom, you can make any notes that you might have, like if the water wasn't on, or you can say how many keys you were given, etc. And then if you find something's wrong, then you will click follow up, and it will make it red. At the end, you come here to the very top by the name, you click on there, and you would say create a work order. And then you will select the areas that you want to put on your work order. I usually would say select all, and then I would hit create a work order, and it will create a work order and notify the manager that there's a work order that needs to be addressed. I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to create one. And that's basically it. If you need to share it, then you would click on here and you can share it with your owner. And if they need to look at it, but typically I don't, I just let the property manager know. He sees his work order, he goes through the inspection, and if he has any questions, he lets me know. And that's pretty much it.